Hi Virgo, welcome to your June 2025 readings. How are you guys doing? I hope you're good. What we're going to do is we're going to do 3 cards for your career for this month next month for June 2025. And we're going to do 3 cards for your love and what to expect there, okay? So we're going to do 3 Lenormand cards and then we're going to clarify with the tarot for each of those. Gosh, cards are already popping out. Let's do career. One more, please. Guys, what happened? No, you guys exploded. My goodness. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to start over. Sorry, I am starting over. Okay. Virgo, career, June 2025. Let's do Virgo, June 2025. Virgo, June 2025. What can Virgo expect in career in June 2025? One more. Okay. So you got the scythe, the stars, and the cross. This is in Lenormand. So you got the scythe here, the stars, and the cross for your career. Let's do some clarifiers. Okay. One more, please, for career for Virgo. Whoop. And one more. Oof. Virgo. That's the tarot card for Virgo, by the way. So you guys are showing up in your career reading. How interesting. Okay, let me do 3 more clarifiers here. I need one for this one, please. Well, I need one for each, but I really would like to know the scythe. Justice. How interesting. Okay, so for the tarot clarifiers, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Hermit card. And then further clarifying is the Justice card, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Wands. So the stars, I love getting the stars in a career reading because the stars talk about a wish come true or an alignment to me. An alignment in terms of your wants, your desires. It's almost like God putting you on the right path, or the divine putting you on the right path. Whatever higher power you believe in, the higher self, whatever it is, whatever energy you believe is looking out for you, it's this sign from the universe, this opportunity that sort of like bumps you and puts you in the right lane, right on the right track, to kind of move forward. The scythe can be 2 things. Usually it can mean cutting something out of your life, so endings or just kind of removal of whatever it is. It can also be something fast, something that happened fast. The way that I see this is, it kind of feels like, and the cross talks about sadness, depression, guilt, things like that, heavy burdens, heavy feelings, heavy emotions. It's possible that you felt like you had a dream job and you lost it, or you felt like there was a golden opportunity and things didn't go quite your way. To what degree, I'm not really quite sure. It could be, like I said, like you had your dream job and you were laid off. Or it could be something as small as like, oh, you had your heart set on this job that you applied to and you got through 3 rounds of interviews and then like only to know that you didn't get it. Or there was this particular program that you wanted to enter and like you weren't able to meet the expectations because of financial aid, right? Or whatever it is, whatever it is. You felt like there was something that was calling you towards something specifically, and maybe things didn't quite pan out the way that you thought that they would. I almost get the feeling that you felt that there's this feeling of like, I missed my ship, or I didn't quite get what I expected, what I wanted. Or maybe you did get the job or the opportunity, but it isn't, sorry, that's my neck. If you heard it, sorry. It isn't quite what you expected or what you thought it would be. However, I hate to say things happen for a reason because I don't believe that they always happen for a reason. However, in this particular situation, I think it did, because I think it's a way of kind of putting you into the place where you needed to be. Family might be important here as well. So let me explain. If you were, let's say in the example of like you getting laid off from a job that you thought was great and fine, you know, and all of the things, and you wanted it because of reasons A, B, and C, it was good pay, or it was good for your, you know, it was good for your career, all of that stuff. But maybe now that you don't have that job, you're able to have more home life balance, or you're able to spend more time with family, or you're able to do this, that, and be more present with what fills your cup. This is what fills your cup. The 10 of Cups is about what makes you thrive, what the bliss that we have in life. Specifically to the small things in terms of the people that we have. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like say that the people that we have in our lives are small, but it's the free things in life, right? The things that actually really, really matter. The people that we have that we love, the morning dawns, the sunsets, the breeze in the air, all these things, the things that actually bring you joy. And fill your heart. Those are the things that are here. This is the 10 of Cups. For whatever reason, whatever the situation was here that it didn't quite work out the way that you had expected, it worked out for the best. If you take a look and really dig deep down, dive deep and look at what really matters to you, it may have been an opportunity to align you more with that than what you thought you wanted. This is also kind of, it heralds a beginning of a new journey. Maybe your priorities have changed. Maybe your needs have changed. Maybe you need to think about when you wanted this thing that maybe slipped you by or bypassed you, or that you weren't able to get, or wasn't exactly what you thought it would be. Maybe now, if you really think about it, maybe your needs are a little bit different. And maybe that doesn't really suit you now today anyway. I think there was a lot of energy and work put into making this thing happen, whatever it is, whether it was a business startup that you were starting up, that you wanted, that you invested your time and money into, that didn't quite pan out the way that you thought. Maybe you're selling a business, maybe you're changing course, maybe whatever the situation is, I think that it is for the best. And I don't know that you're going to fully realize that in June 2025. There is this sort of energy, though, that's coming through of excitement with it. I feel like there is, I feel like once you realize that, or if you've already realized that closing this door opens so many more, I think that's the part that gets you excited about what's to come. Because I think what it feels like to me is that June is only the beginning of what is to come in future months. It isn't it isn't necessarily the start of something new, but it's the prep that comes before the start. I know that sounds weird. I feel like that sounds weird to me, but I don't know how else to verbalize it. I think it's like the prep right before. It's almost like if you had a business, right, that you were opening, like a little, let me think, like a yogurt shop, right? Or like a gelato shop. If you're opening a gelato shop, it's all of the prep that goes into like right before opening day, right before the grand opening. That's what June kind of feels like. It feels like there's something coming, and there's so much excitement here. There's so much excitement and stability. And it's also very protected too. I feel like I see that both in the Justice card and in the stars. I feel like there's a lot of protection around you and about the decisions that you've made and the things that have happened. Because I feel like the things that have happened, a lot of part of this has been external. Your effort, your energy, and your excitement that goes into this new beginning, yes, it counts for something, and that's something that you can control, obviously, within yourself, that you have control over. But there are external factors here that played a role. And while you may have felt guilty or sad or let down and disappointed because of what's transpired in the past, it's going to be replaced with this excitement. And this, like, look, both the Fool and the King of Wands have wands, right? Have like a wand basically in their hand. It's about something starting new, and there's a lot of spirituality here as well. The wands unfortunately, I feel like the wands have this bad reputation for being a very quick energy, and it's just something unstable that you can't control. That's entirely untrue, because you wouldn't have a King of Wands, a master of the spirit, of the spear and of the wands, if you couldn't control it and if it was always flaky. A King of Wands in the up like this, yes, this is a flaky person, potentially, anger issues, blah, 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 all this stuff. This person, no, they're in their power. They're able to control their excitement, but use that like that nervous energy or that excitement that you use in a very positive way to create, to manifest things, to bring them to fruition, to make them tangible things that you can actually count on, bank on. And like it's creative. It's a very, very creative energy. You see that both in the King of Wands and the Fool. Wands are also meant to be representative of the spirit. You know that feeling that you get, like, whatever it, like, especially people that create things with their hands, whether it's like drawing or ceramics or woodworking or making candles or whatever it is, whoever it is that, like, when you're building something, it's almost like a builder. When they build something, it's like they're breathing life into something beautiful that's gonna make either people, it's gonna help people, or it's gonna like make people happy in some way, right? And when you do that, when you give that gift of energy, it's almost like you have energy as well. You give energy to yourself, and it's like a spiritual connection that you have to the spiritual world, again, to God, to whoever and whatever it is that you feel you connect. Even if it's the universe, it connects you to everyone, to all of us, right? The Wands is a very spiritual card, and you have that twice here. You have a major, two majors, and you have the stars. There's a lot of alignment. There's a lot of cleaning up the rough edges in June for you, in June 2025. It's going to be so interesting when I do your July, and I'm going to leave it here, but it's going to be super interesting for me to do your July 2025 to see what happens, because I think it's going to be, like I said, this is like a prelude to what's to come. I think June is just a prelude for what's to come in July for you, 2025. So you'll have to check back in, and you'll have to tell me what's going on in your life. That's super exciting. But there's a lot of alignment, and I think that you're going to have a lot of really good things coming your way. If you haven't realized it already, you've been walking the path the whole time. It just, what you thought was the path maybe wasn't what it actually is. And I think that you're kind of marrying those two ideas, and you're kind of understanding that a little bit more in June 2025. Okay, let's do your love. Do love for Virgo, June 2025. What is in store for love for Virgo in June 2025? Virgo love, June 2025. Tell me about Virgo and their love life in June 2025. What does Virgo have coming in for their love life in June 2025? Ooh, you got choices, looks like. Okay, so for the Lenormand, for love, you have the Mountain. I guess it's called the Crossroads. Is it called the Crossroads? In this deck, it looks a little bit different, but basically it's the Crossroads. It's like the fork in the road, right? And you have the Key. I love this card. I say this about like every card, but I love this card. I love reading cards. I love like tarot and oracle decks. I think I've been doing it for what, like, I don't know, a little under 25 years, I want to say. I'm aging myself, dating myself. Yeah, I know. I was like 3 when I started. Anyway, okay, let's get some clarifiers for you. This is a cool reading. There we go. And 3. Done. So for the tarot, you have the 5 of Pentacles, the Moon, and the 10 of Wands. So the Mountain talks about a change of plans or a detour, or it's some kind of challenge or obstacle that you're going to need to overcome. So you may be, and this is the Crossroads, so you may be thinking, I think if you're in a relationship or you're dating someone, I don't want to say in a relationship, but if you're in some kind of connection, right, with someone, you are wondering if this person is the right person for you. You're kind of on the fence about it. There's something either missing, you're not right, maybe you're bored, maybe you're, I don't know, they could be a plethora of things, but you are wondering if the grass is greener on the other side. It may have been, yeah, I think that this connection, whatever connection that you're in, has its challenges, has had its challenges in the past. It's had some challenges in the past. It can be kind of heavy. It can be it can be heavy in the sense that it could be like emotionally for you heavy, but I feel like responsibility wise, it's heavy. In terms of the things that you have to do in order to maintain the relationship, to stay in the relationship. Maybe you don't really have time to be in a relationship, or maybe you don't have, when you're in a connection, there are trade-offs, right? Like I always see things, the decisions that we make in whatever we want to obtain, that everything is always a trade-off. You trade something off for what it is that you get, that you buy. When you buy something, you trade off money, right? This is the trade-off. You give money to get whatever service or product that you're getting. In a relationship, there are trade-offs. If you date one person and you're dating them exclusively, obviously you can't date other people, right? Unless it's, that's part of the situation. But there are always boundaries within a connection. And I hate to say that just as the only example. Let me give another example in terms of a relationship. Sometimes when you are heavy set on a career path or a work path, having a relationship, especially an exclusive relationship or a serious relationship, takes you time away from what you could be doing in terms of studying for something else, or working towards something else, or making more money, to be quite frank. So there's always a trade-off, right? No matter what you do, especially in romantic relationships, there's always going to be trade-offs. And I think you're kind of either resenting the trade-offs, or you're not really quite happy with the trade-offs, or there's something here that has been making that challenging. I think initially maybe you're learning that things aren't quite what they seem, or this person maybe to you isn't exactly quite what they seem. Let me get more clarifiers from this. And you're kind of I don't want to say like you're second guessing yourself, but you're kind of like, you're wondering if this is the right path for you. Okay, you have the World card, clarifying the Mountain and the Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. Yep. The Star. This one. She wanted to come out. The Hanged Man and the High Priestess. This is very interesting to me because both of these cards, the Moon and the High Priestess, every card has a lot of like different meanings, right? But one meaning that both of these cards share is things that are hidden, things that are not revealed, things that haven't come to light yet. Interestingly enough, you have the key here, and it was one of the first cards that you got, and the key actually brings light to the situation, just like the sun would. It illuminates just like the sun would, because the key has the power to lock and unlock. There may have been something recently that you found out, or that you will be finding out in the month of June, that makes you second guess the relationship or the connection in some way. Again, it's so funny. I was talking about sacrifices and trade-offs, right? And the Hangman also talks about sacrifices. This particular person hung themselves upside down. That's a sacrifice that they willingly made in order to gain perspective on the situation, basically on the viewer, right? They want to see this from a different perspective. So you have a choice here, and I will tell you your choice. You can look at this person, if this person has kept something from you in some way, or maybe omitted something, hid something, or just simply wasn't quite fully transparent or honest about something. And it could be something big or small. It could be something as small as the expectations that they have of you, and the expectations that they have of the role that you play in the relationship, or the role that they play in the relationship, right? And it doesn't necessarily, I don't see malice in this person specifically hiding. There could have been. I'm going to give the person the benefit of the doubt and say I don't see malice here, and it doesn't really matter. Well, yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? But I'm going to give this person the benefit of the doubt and say that I don't see malice here. But this person, there's something that was hidden that will be brought to light, or has been brought to light, that makes you sort of wonder about the relationship. It may have been that you've been putting in more than you believe your partner has been for some reason, in some way. In any case, your choice is this. A, you can say, nope, none of that. I've decided to go my own way, and you can go your own way, right? And just say, no, I think that there might be something more out there for me, or I'm not quite sure. I don't know about this. Or take a break, right? Or take a pause, or whatever. And you can feel, and when you do that, you feel all the feelings, right? You feel lied to, you feel betrayed, and all this stuff. Although I'm not getting that. I feel like it's something smaller. So I feel like it could be something like, you know what, I don't know about this anymore. I'm just kind of scared. Or at what point is too much, right? Or like, what is it that, like, kind of being on the fence? You can sort of take those feelings of being, I don't want to say victimized, but like feeling like you're getting the shorter end of the stick. Or the other choice is you can look within yourself, and from an objective perspective, from a very, very objective perspective, and understand that you yourself are not perfect, that you yourself have your mistakes. Look at it from that person's perspective of who you are as a partner, or what role you have played in this connection, and then see where you land. And maybe that'll give you more of a clear understanding of how this whole thing has enveloped. Because I have a feeling that there has been a role that you have played in this connection, and that there is enough of a history here that requires, or that dignifies, you removing yourself from the situation, separating yourself from the situation, to see it with more clear eyes and see how you played a role in this relationship as well. That's what I'm getting. I think there's the fact that I got the High Priestess kind of like here peripherally. I feel like there's both things on this dynamic. There's on both sides of this equation, on both sides of this relationship, this connection. I feel like there may have been things that have been omitted. I hate to use the word like secrets, right? Like, oh, stuff like, because it doesn't have to be all that like malicious, right? It doesn't have to be all that like evil, right? And I don't think that it is, but I think that But I think we all kind of play a role in the dynamic of a relationship, its function and its dysfunction. And I think that you'll be able to kind of, if you do that, if you give yourself and you give them the benefit of the doubt and you really take an objective perspective of yourself and the role that you played in this connection, I think you will see that things are not, you will kind of get out of this energy of feeling left out or feeling like you got the short end of the stick. Because this is you getting the short end of the stick. This is you, sorry about the glare, guys. This is you getting the short end of the stick and not feeling like good enough or worthy enough, or like a little bit, I don't say victimized, but a little bit, right? Like taken advantage of, maybe a little bit. And I think that if you do that, I think there's a good chance that this relationship will improve and get better. This connection will improve and get better. Because I do think that there is, so the star is about wishes coming true also, but like hope. And I think that, and the world sort of concludes a cycle or a situation. I think if you take the time and be patient with this person and be compassionate with this person and be compassionate with yourself and be fair, right? And be fair with yourself. I think you'll be able to sort of start a new path, and sort of co-create a new path with you and this person to a place where you can both sort of meet in the middle and have better communication. Because I think this challenge, this doesn't feel like a deal breaker for me for some reason. It doesn't feel like a do or die. Like I don't feel like a big major thing happened. I feel like this is a challenge and an obstacle that changes the way that you see things, and B, most importantly, the way that you two kind of come together and meet in the middle. So your communication might get better after this if you both work at it. And agree to work at it. Your transparency maybe, obviously, will be better. Also, if this person came clean about something, you might want to give them credit for that as well. I know that goes against the grain because we all feel offended when someone's lied. But when they come clean about something on their own, I think that there is a sort of like level of like, okay, you came, you get one little, like, I don't say bonus point, but like, like, okay, I'll give you that. But I think that there is a lot to be salvaged here in this connection. I think there's a lot of good in this connection. I think that it'll kind of graduate you to a higher level of commitment in terms of understanding each other, compassion, being compassionate with each other, and communicating. Because I do feel like there is a strong sense that there will be a change in this dynamic for the better if you sort of take an honest account of yourself, your words, your actions, and things like that. Yeah, that's what I get for you. So, all right, Virgo, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope the reading gave you clarity. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll check you out in the next one. Bye.